And we are back. I am so excited to be back. It is Monday. It is a holiday week or week end. I think it's a long day or a extended holiday for some individuals because today is the observed holiday. However, I was sharing with my father because I'm visiting my parents that I don't really recall observing the holidays because I was always with the airlines, which is a space where the holidays is not observed. Uh, every day is a day that you would report. So happy holiday or not. What's up? What's up, Counselor Cat Mom? Nice to see you. I'm so excited to be back on because I actually miss all of the people that regularly come into my lives. So, Counselor Cat Mom, I wish you beauty and abundance and a bunch of hope. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take all the mamas I can get. I tell my mom that I have mamas everywhere. Listen, I need as much help as I can get. And I'm currently here visiting my parents, and so I am excited. And now the roles have slightly changed, which is beautiful. My mother would often greet me with tea or breakfast. Me too. Listen, I love a good collarbone and clavicle, so thank you. And I remember, see, this is how I jump around. I remember there was a gentleman of mine and he was like, keep this. And I said, well, where would it go? Like, it's not like I can lose this. No, I am not Dark Lord. Why would I play? Games are for kids who play PlayStation, and I ain't that. So continue to like the live and share it because I'm back. I've been traveling. I have some stories, of course, and it's going to be great. Liv E. Rodriguez. Well, today I took a sexy walk. I told you I do my sexy walks. Yeah, thank you. You can claim me. You can claim me. Thank you. Thank you, Dark Lord 99. And nothing is everything. I think it's a combination of a few things. Yes. Yeah, life would be tough if I removed my clavicle. You're correct. To E. Rodriguez, I just like movement. So there's not one specific exercise, but I'm always moving. I'm always moving. What's up, Mag? I see you're here. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's nice to see you. You know I love a bike. I'm always on my bike. Peace and blessings, chosen one. Today I did my sexy walk, which if you're gonna do it, make it look sexy, you know. I'm not for doing anything that doesn't have a little sexiness to it. However, since I'm visiting my parents, I'm going to be swimming laps in the morning. I love swimming. I've always been around the water. I love biking. I've actually been on Craigslist, and we're going to go to some yard sales so I can have a bike because I love my bike. I have rollerblades as well, which I was bringing with me. However, once I arrived at the airport, I told my friend, just keep my rollerblades. Like, keep them here in Hawaii. I'm carrying a lot of stuff. So I love to rollerblade. I love to dance. I did have a pole in my home, and I gave it away. However, I love pole dancing. It's great for the core, and the core is pivotal for life. Your core muscles support your whole body. They are, I will. Thank you. See, I'm not on Facebook, so I'll have to ask my mom or my sister about that because I will have a bike. I will definitely get a bike. So biking, swimming, dancing, rollerblading, running, my sexy walks. Oh, I love that. My sister actually just told me, E. Rodriguez, yeah, my cute little mosquito bites, aren't they cute? I bet nothing on you is cute. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I am Frey. It's good to see you. You know, you're one of my main hopefuls. So shout out to you. Thank you for your yellow hearts, because that's how I remember you. You always give me my yellow golden hearts. What's up, Eva? And I appreciate you. You're welcome. The elementary school that I went to is not far from my parents' home, so I'm gonna jump the fence. Because they lock it for summer, and go do drills, like hardcore, like sprints and cartwheels, and I just like to do 60 minutes of dedicated exertion. I feel great, and then the day rolls on. And now that I'm here with my parents, I will probably do 2 swims a day. If not, typically in the morning I'll do some laps, and in the evening I'll do some laps. Yeah, another fence to jump. What's up, Florida? What's up, James? Listen, Mag, ain't nothing wrong with jumping a fence. Thank you. Me too. I love them too. Thank you for the gift. Now, let me tell you something, Mag. Now, here's a funny story. Since I'm in my parents' home, I will be remembering all of these funny stories, because often what you see is just the reflection of what I've always been around. My parents are hilarious. My family laughs a lot. There's some families that tend to have maybe more aggression. Here, we just laugh a lot. My mom has a loud, shrieking laugh, and it's infectious. So I remember about 3 thank you, me too. This was actually like 10 years ago. It was New Year's Eve. And my mom came into my room, and this is how she talked. She said, "Girl, get up." I said, What is it? It's like 2 in the morning. She said, "Your sister broke her foot." I said, "What that got to do with me? If my sister broke her foot, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Why are you telling me this?" She said, "She needs you to go to the hospital with her." I said, "Mom, I'm not going to the hospital with my sister who broke her foot. What was she doing at 2 in the morning to break her foot?" "She jumped a fence." I said, "She jumped a fence? What is she doing jumping a fence?" Listen, Mag, if you don't know how to jump a fence, don't jump a fence. Because then somebody comes in my room at 2 in the morning saying, "Go to the hospital with your sister." You shouldn't have been jumping the fence in the first place, okay? And what are you jumping a fence for? And I'm going back to sleep. Thank you. Jumping fence. Thank you. I can jump a fence. In fact, there was this one time, I don't know, I was like in 7th or 8th grade. We decided to race and jump all the fences in my friend's block. And we were jumping all the fences, just running through people's backyards. And I hit the fence so hard that the fence collapsed. And we were like, "Oh, what are we going to do with that?" Because, like, fences are expensive to replace. But I don't know. I made it to this day. Yeah, listen, here's the thing, ghostly content creator. I have 4 sisters. So if I say no, somebody else can meet her. Okay? I'm running. I also remember the story. I passed by the school, the elementary school I went to, and I told my niece, "That is the fence I jumped when this girl was coming to fight me." You think I'm going to stick around to let you? I saw her walking up to me like this. I'm not sticking around for that. I'm running. I'm a runner. I'm agile. I'm quick. I see you doing this and grimacing. I'm running. I'm jumping the fence, and I'm running home. That's it. That's it. What do you think I'm going to sit here and say, "Come, let's..." No, I'm out of here. Ain't no way I'm going to sit here and let you hit me. And she was like 3 times bigger than me. I've always been slim. So if I was in 4th or 5th grade, I was probably like 56 pounds. Exactly. I've always been tiny, and she was like looked like a grown woman with two of her minions on the side walking to me. No, bye, jumped in the fence, ran home, got to the house, and I'm good. Once I'm at the house, you're not coming to my house. So yeah, fences have played a role, and there's a lesson in that. A fence is there to keep something in or to keep something out. For me, it doesn't matter because I'm going to jump over it. So even if it's trying to keep me in, I can jump over it. If it's trying to keep me out, I can jump over it. It's a barrier, but it does not mean the barrier will stop me. Yeah, it was like, and I've been a bully before, so you're not gonna bully the bully. I just, what's up? What's up? Thank you, Chicago. I appreciate that. Don't tell me what to do, 5150. That's a direct order, and I don't like anyone telling me what to do. That's what my parents do, and they can tell you that didn't work out so well. So another funny fence story. When I was in Costa Rica, you got some other people to battle with. I don't have a 5-carat anything on my hand. I don't have any rubies on my hand. I don't have any grand gestures. So even if you think you found your wife, you haven't done the preparations for me. So there we go. Thank you, Debbie. So when I was in Costa Rica, yeah, I love jumping fences, and my sister ran hurdles, and I've always loved hurdles. However, life is the hurdle. So now instead of the running track as a hurdle, life is the hurdle. Put a fence in front of me, I'm going to jump it, okay? And when I was in Costa Rica, we were walking towards the beach, and there was a small hotel. And there was a gate that said, do not enter to go to the beach. Why? The beach is right there. If I cut through here, I'll be on the beach in 3 minutes. If I go around and read this sign, that's going to be additional 15 minutes. I'm not taking that. Like, I'm walking through. I'm pushing the fence open. I'm walking past the pool at the little boutique hotel, and I'm going on the beach. Come on. Hello, Mr. Robert. Nice to meet you. You may have to battle it out with some others. However, that's the thing. Just because the fence says do not enter doesn't mean I won't enter. And it's the same with life. Just because there is some barrier, I love a barrier. Because I'm going to jump over it. I'm going to push through it. I'm going to break it down. I understand why you probably wouldn't want me to walk through the property, but then again, so what? I'm going to no. And I remember telling my niece, and she just laughed, because no, a fence is there to either keep something in or keep something out, but it can also just be a barrier to the destination. And okay, Mag, it doesn't matter what's preventing me from the destination, I'm going to get there. If the fence is a barrier, I'm jumping the fence. If the fence needs to be pushed down, I'm pushing down the fence. Okay. And it just is what it is. I remember when I was packing, I told my friend, I'm bringing my lights for filming, but I'm not going to bring the poles. And she said, well, what are you going to do? You have the light, but you don't have the poles? You don't. I said, see, I don't think of those barriers. I have the main thing. I have the soft light box. I can easily order one of the poles. I can easily find some post in my parents' garage to put the light on to prop it up. I'm already thinking of the end goal. But the most difficult part is either packing the long poles to attach to the box light or carrying them on. The most important part is the light box, if you understand. So I have I have, definitely. I've figured out a lot. Is the blonde real? Yes, if you're seeing it, it's real. You would have to clarify what real is. To me, nothing is real. This is why I just do what I do. I decide if it's real. It is real. Sure. So, also, anyone who's new to my life, I was a flight attendant for 15 years. On top of that, voyaging, I won't say travel, voyaging is my passion. So I take voyages all the time. And I love to voyage. I've seen the world thousands of times. I have friends all over the world. However, I know about airplanes. Furthermore, because I'm intelligent, I memorized all of our work rules for the airline. So I did a little union work, volunteering with the union, and because when you first start, you're lower on the totem pole and there's a lot of legalities. So as a flight attendant, I think now it's been extended, but you can have a 12-hour duty day extended up to 16 hours if there's irregularities. Meaning, a duty day means if is it Sophia? Is it Sophia? It may be. Right. So a duty day, let's say you have a duty day where you are working from LA to Denver and then Denver back to LA. Your duty day may be 8 or 10 hours, and your duty day starts the hour and 15 minutes before you take off, and it ends an hour after you land and check into your hotel room, right? So if your check-in time, which is the time you have to report at the airport prior to your flight, let's say your flight took off at 10, you would have to report domestically at the airport at 9 o'clock. Then you would fly from LA to Denver. Let's say that's an hour and a half. Let's say deplane. All the passengers get off. The cleaners come on and they clean the plane. Thank you, Yassam. And of course, please don't play with me. Hey, go play with PlayStation. Go play with badminton, but don't play with me. I am her. I didn't even really have to think about it. Who else you know can do that? You don't. So let me get back to the story. So, passengers get on, cleaners come, passengers get off, cleaners come on. They clean the plane really quickly, they get off, more passengers get on, and then you close the door and you fly back to LA. Another hour and a half. You land and then you deplane and you go home. That would be a typical day. So then there's days like, I don't know who Obama is. If you can clarify that, I would love to know. During summer, and here's another thing, because my parents always have the news on, which is annoying, but they're my parents. Thank you. It's actually a 2-piece set that I found. I went thrifting with my sister and my niece, and I love a set, but I also love pinstripe. What is this called? It's called, not gingham. Gingham is like checkered, but I like this type of stuff. So I'll finish this, and then user 130628, I will tell you, because nothing in life stresses me out. So during summer, right now, anyone who's traveling, just know this is peak travel season. July, regardless of what you do, July is just peak travel season. It's not a good or a bad thing. It just is. July is the month where seersucker, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, and I love a seersucker suit. I had a seersucker suit. I love it. And I would wear it with white loafers. I'm all about it. So, yes, July is the month where people save up all year to travel in July to see their families. So it just is the highest travel month aside from the 2 weeks right before Christmas. And there's a lot of families. Now, me being the flight attendant, former, you know the difference between the summer travelers, thank you, and the business travelers. Because if there was a delay, it was never the business travelers that would don't be nervous. You're excited. First of all, why would you put that on yourself, Counselor Cat Mom? Now I got to change the story and call you in, not out. I appreciate you, Nikki. Nervousness and excitement are the same firing in your brain. We get to label it. So you can tell yourself, I am so excited about my flight on Thursday, and your body will categorize it for that. Thank you. You can program yourself for that. You're excited. You're excited that when you enter the airport, everything is going to work in your favor. You're excited that when you get to the airport, every interaction will be beneficial and helpful and fun and light. You're excited because you're going to get the perfect seat and you are going to rest and you are going to arrive at your destination safely. Start saying that. So, business travelers who would do the normal routes of, let's say, LA, Chicago, LA, New York, New York, London, they don't really become perturbed because they do it all the time. But if you're a family and you don't travel often, it can be uncomfortable. Traveling is one of these instances where you don't have much control. I mean, you don't have control of anything, but in the airport and on the airplane, you have very little control. Often you can't get up, you can't do this. So I understand that. Thank you. Exactly. I do that. I am a healer. I will say that. Okay, yes, I will. Listen, when I see nothing, I say nothing, user 6009. So, July just is a high travel month. It doesn't mean that I'm extremely rude, especially to you. I am really rude. I accept that. So, hydrate. I always say hydrate the day before. Thank you. Exactly. I don't even see. You think that, do you know how often I had to, here's the thing. Being a flight attendant made me, I'm unwavering with my positivity because I just feel good. Especially I'm seeing my parents and being around their energy. That stuff is important. What someone says to me for how they see me has nothing to do with me. I do not even ingest it. It's a superpower. All you have to do is understand that what someone thinks about you is their perception of you. It's their truth. It's not your truth. Thank you. I appreciate that. When I say here's the thing, you got that right. It's a two-piece. It's this. Wait a minute. Let me show you. Let me do a outfit check. So it's like a skirt, like a long skirt and a top. I love a two-piece. It reminds me of my mom. Yeah, I don't care. It's not even here, Counselor Cat Mom. Also understand, I don't even see that as disrespect. I see it as someone's perception. I don't even take it to that. It just doesn't have anything to do with me. So I don't see it as that. Most of the time, I don't even see it. I'm at a point where I'm really programmed just to, oh well. It's not ingested. It does not infect me. In fact, okay, great. I'm happy you feel that way. What's up, Murgy? Oh, that's great. You're okay, go on. That is so funny. That's fantastic. Good for you. Yeah, I'm not affected by people. Here's the thing, Mag. If you choose to be affected every time an individual has something to say about you, you will always have that battle to face, because all there are people that are going to say something about you. That's one thing in life. You interact with people. They tell you their perception of you. If you choose to have to defend that, ingest that, wonder why they think that, then every day, multiple times a day, that's what you will have to battle. I don't care. I know what I am. I know whose I am. I know who I am. I know what I do. I know what I put out. No, especially now that I'm with my parents, I'm like even supercharged. But no one can steal anything. I don't even get to the point of saying that, because it does not penetrate me. It is what it is. It means nothing. It's like seeing a fly buzzing around. It's a nuisance, maybe, but I don't pay attention to it. And as a flight attendant, you could often deal with this multiple times. And here's the other thing. You are on a plane. It's not like you can walk outside and have a smoke break. What's up, Sherry? Good to see you. You're on a metal tube for hours. Furthermore, I'm never going to see this person again. When I was on the plane, that's what we would say. We would say, it doesn't matter. We're never going to see this person again, ever. That's with most interactions. And even if I do, I choose. If it's a family member, I say, do I even want to maintain this relationship? I do. Okay, then what does it look like? But a random stranger that I meet has no ability to affect me in any way. In any way. Yeah, for the most part, Jack Wolf. However, winter, it can be rainy and gray and cold, like this past winter, or it was, hi, Mom. Don't get in the frame, girl. My mom comes and like, hi, girl. This past winter and the winter before, to me, it was cold. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dr. Feelgood. It was cold because I don't have any heavy blankets. And this was February and it will rain a lot. We had some heavy rains and it got down to like the 50s. Now up on the volcano, it gets really cold, like in the 30s or 40s. Yeah, I may pull her into the frame if she says yes. However, that was cold to me at night in the 50s. For Hawaii, not having a thick blanket. Go. It doesn't matter what I say. Even if I said I didn't like it, Jack Wolf, go. And I often say this, it doesn't matter what people say. If you want to go, go. Go as soon as possible. Go. It's Hawaii. Just go. And as my father says, most people are wimps, but my dad says a lot. So yes, back to, yes, Haleakala. Yeah. It'll get down into the 30s and it's windy because you're really high in the air. However, the energy there is so magnetic. It's amazing. So summer travel. So as you know, I usually travel all of summer. I love Hawaii as my home base. However, as the Voyager, as the now retired flight attendant, I do get the bug. And summer, as well as fall, probably the rest of the year, I'll be on the go. It's very normal to me. And I traveled from Hawaii to California. And as I was traveling, or even before, I had a friend of mine pick up my bag from my home because she was going to take me to the airport. And I said, take my bags. Before I take off tonight, I'm going to take a bike ride tonight. Like a bike ride and just look at the mountains and everything. And it felt so good before flight to take like a nice bike ride and smell the Hawaiian air and see the mountains, and it was fantastic. So I went to her house, showered, and then arrived at the airport. So as I was I always need to drink back. Okay, we'll get to that because I often do. Like, often. I mean, it's me. I only attract the best, I must say. And I do. Okay, side note. Whenever someone says, oh, there's terrible men, for you, not for me. Don't speak that onto me. Only the best, most respectful, healthiest, emotionally available gentlemen are attracted to me. Why would I say anything outside of that? That's, if you know that words build your world, I don't play with things like that. Even if that had been the case, I wouldn't actually say it. It's that important to me. However, only the best. I mean, I'm Hope, so why not? So, when I arrived at the airport, but I'm going to dye it tomorrow. So I wanted it to grow a little, but I usually buzz it every week because my hair grows pretty quick. Just go. I'm all for just moving without even being there. Like, you'll adjust. People adjust to terrible conditions. You can adjust to 81 degrees every day. It's really easy to adjust. So when I go to the airport, you would never see me in sweats, but I don't wear sweats anyway. I believe for everyone to dress your best. If that means the most comfortable, sure. However, dressing your best for the airport, because I say the airport is the world's intersection. It's the world's intersection. It's people from all over the world crossing. And it is always a miraculous event with who you may cross paths with and who you may network with or who you may be inspired from. And to show up as your best, that shows. Especially Americans. Americans are all about comfort. You can tell if it's an American traveling because they're always in like sweats. You will not see like South Americans, Italians, most Europeans wearing sweats, period, because they just wouldn't, especially on a flight. However, if you are open for a relationship and you happen to be dressed well in the airport, you stand out. Thank you, Ziggy. You stand out. So I had made a post ages back. I love a jumpsuit. Yes, I love a jumpsuit. One and done. I love a jumpsuit for a flight. I just love a jumpsuit, period. Ideally, my life is lived in a jumpsuit. A really cute vintage jumpsuit, or I had a nice one from Farm Rio. I love a jumpsuit. I love a jumpsuit. I love a jumpsuit. Can't you tell? I love a jumpsuit. Or even this time I wore a dress, like a long flowy dress. I want something that I can like maneuver in. However, I look prepared. So dress well. I love to not have much. Like, because I've been in the airport so much, I love a fanny pack, my carry-on, and that's it. I don't tend to bring too much because the less you have, the easier it is to maneuver. And that can be in life. You just have to let some things go. Like, you actually don't need 10 magazines. You don't. You'd be good with one. So, arrived at the airport, and as I was going through security, which is one thing that I miss, I have to say, now that I'm a normie, because that's what I would call the non-aviation people. That's one thing that I really feel is a benefit when I was flying. Well, yeah, or you just don't need all that stuff, Sherry. You aren't home, so giving yourself options can work against you. You just have X amount of outfits, and I'm an expert packer. Like, I always have a small, light, almost windbreaker jacket. There's things that I can change up. If I need something, I can buy it. And for the most part, I won't really need it. Yeah, minimalist. Sure, I understand that. I didn't say I'm a minimalist. However, flying, it helps to only bring what you need. I understand that. I actually challenged myself once. There was a minimalist challenge to only have 100 things in life. Total. Toothbrush, phone, charger, bed, 100 things total. It depends where I'm going. It doesn't matter how long. Where are you going, Ziggy Ann? If I'm going to Hawaii for 6 days, my bag's going to be empty, because all you need in a warm destination is some sandals or flip-flops. I'm always going to have my vintage Levi's cutoffs, a bunch of bikinis, probably like 2 or 3 because I'll buy some more, 1 or 2 workout clothes, and a sarong. That's it. Then my toiletries. That's it. If I'm going to a warm weather destination, yeah, I'll have a few suits, but I'm all for buying. I ideally am packing only my favorite things, only to wear those things to go shopping for my new favorite things. Because that's how we keep the cycle of love going. You see? I'm not packing all of that. I can buy it there. What are we doing? I'm going to shop while I'm there. Why do I need to bring all of this? I essentially will pack for if there's something that happens where I have to overnight somewhere. And like my first day's outfit, but I'm shopping. Okay? I am shopping. If that's the only time I do shop is when I travel. I prefer to shop while traveling because then I have the memory to the garment, and I enjoy small boutiques and like eclectic shops. I love thrift shops. I love curated vintage, where I used to do that. I used to thrift shop all over the world on all of my layovers, buy things all over the world, and then sell them online. So that's what I do when I'm traveling. I will always go to the thrift shop first because I love to see what people are disregarding all over the world. It's amazing. When I was in Tokyo with my niece, in Japan, people will set out beautiful, well-organized boxes to give away by their trash cans. And were we on a bike? I think we were just walking to our bakery, and going through all of the boxes, because every box in front of the house, it wasn't like crumbled up clothes. Everything was folded nicely. And we found beautiful umbrellas. I took all of the umbrellas, some beautiful fans, like all sorts of things. Oh, okay, so these are vintage. These are vintage from my friend's shop. So they're like a horse. Aren't they so cool? So the front is the front of the horse, and the back is this, and it goes in like that. And I love them. You know, I love my earrings. I also love vintage earrings. And I'm going to contact my friend that made the boba earrings and all those, to like do a little collection for me. I decided that. Thank you. What is it? What is my accent? I hear that all the time. I don't know. I've lived so many places that I know my accent has changed. I just think it's a universal accent. Yeah, because it's neutral, and at times, like, it will change. Thank you. So yes, traveling, shopping. What are we doing? That's a part of it. Thrift shopping, curated vintage, small eclectic boutiques. I usually buy designers from where I'm at. I like local designers, and I have to love it. I only buy what I love. If I can walk away from it, then I don't love it. But if I can't, then it's coming with me. And yes. Yeah, thank you. I do love that. I like to shop I have big feet, so shoes, when I travel to certain places, it's not going to work. I wear a 42 or a size 11 in women's, and I was in, yes, both share. Listen, they got to see it look good, and it's got to look good on me. Thank you. So Sherry, I'm putting it on, busting the tags that day. It's going with me to dinner or somewhere. No, this is that concept of, I'm going to save this for a special occasion. It's now. The special occasion is now. I don't wait. I wear it then. This is why when you see me, I'm always dressed up. Every day is a special occasion. Every day. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm breathing. There's no need to wait. I've been known to wear gowns and 3-piece suits to the grocery. Why not? Why not? And people address you differently. I had a suit stage. I've had a lot of fashion stages. Well, nothing can be bought off the rack. I mean, everything can. Everything is bought off the rack. You don't have to, if Envious is beneficial for you. However, I get everything altered, or I alter my clothes, because I'm kind of tall and stretched out and slim. So everything should be altered. Do you know how they make sample sizes? It's very difficult to use the sample size to fit every body, especially within the US. The average, yes. What T? What's the childlike wonder? What are you referring to? I want to know. Yeah, everybody's body is different. No, I am not. No, 8.5. I don't even think I did that. I think I went from a baby shoe to an 11. Like I told my mom, I don't even remember the in-between. I've just always had, my dad says we don't have dainty feet. Yeah, I love that. Well, I love clothing. I love style. I love it. I don't wear anything I don't love. You know, I've worked fashion adjacent. I loved fashion and the fashion industry since I was a child, and I would learn the names of the, okay, that's what's up, I am Frey, so if I kick you, I kick your whole back in. But I'm not going to do that. I'm a pacifist. I would learn the names of the stylists. I would learn the names of, thank you, a 12, okay, just slightly bigger than me, of the photographers, of the, I love it. And so even working in fashion, and all my friends who work in fashion, we were really into it. So yes, clothes need to be seen. I'm not buying them to let them go in a closet. Yeah, so what I was talking about, shoes. Americans tend to have large feet. Americans are just big people. Well, Americans are the fattest people in the world. Our level of obesity does not exist, just so you know, anywhere outside of here. I think the three countries with the highest rate of obesity is here, Samoa, and Mexico. Or I think here, Mexico, and Samoa. Thank you. So aside from that, we are just taller people with big feet. If you go to somewhere like Italy, I tried to get some shoes made when I was in Anacapri, which is above Capri, in Italy. And you can get the handmade leather shoes, and I asked him to make me some sandals. He was like, what size? And I said 42. He's like, no, that's a man size. I don't have. I said, okay. So, yeah, well, people are short and boring, so I am Frey, that's okay. I love a tall woman. I'm tall. Most of my friends are 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet. My youngest sister is 6 feet. So I'm the shortest of the tall. With heels, I'm 6 foot. And I love seeing the towering tall woman walk in. When she has heels, she's 6'4". It's so sexy to me. However, with my friends, they were all towering over me because I'm only like 5'8". So 4'4". Thank you. 4'4". That's sexy. I always thought the shorter women would just like play it up to men, like, can you reach that? It's kind of cute. So in Italy, yeah, I was told that my foot was too big. They could not make me sandals. And in Italy, it can be difficult to find shoes because they just have smaller feet. Thank you for liking and sharing the live. How did you lose 2 inches? There we go asking. If you got ass, then you aren't it. However, sure. I was with someone for years who was like 5'5". I don't care about that. I actually just, it's an attraction to the person. I don't care about any of that. But human beings, especially in the West, have a horrible prerequisite for what they pick for a person in a relationship. None of that has anything to do with it. The person who's here for me may be, I don't know, some height. I don't know. That's just too ridiculous for me to throw out. And I trust what I feel, and I attract really great energies. Okay, well, sure. I don't take any of that. I've just seen too much of the world to allow something as menial as a height, a color, even a language to say no, that person might not be it. I don't know. That's why I'm open. I don't know. And I see who y'all pick. Y'all really don't know. That's my type. I asked my friend, how's that working for you? How's that thing with your type working? She says it's not. Okay, well, that makes sense. How do you... I see what some of y'all are saying it's working. Y'all need to... I even said this out loud. I said, I'm just open. because everything else didn't work. So why would I add all of these constraints? Why don't I just be open and learn more? Some human beings feel sorry for themselves and can be. Do you know that? What does that even mean, Ziggy? I don't know what people feel. I'll often say, I don't know. I know what I feel. But if you feel sorry for yourself for being boring, how is that beneficial? So you are aiding in your lack for life? I don't know. Well, I don't even know. I will always say this. I came from a really safe foundation. So I don't have that fear. I have a really secure foundation. And I believe I saw a great example of a union, of a partnership. I know what that looks like. I'm not going to say, oh, it can only look like that if you're 6'8" and what. I don't know that. In reality, as I've said before, I know it's here on this earth for me. It's timing, and I'm developing. I'm developing my voice. I'm developing other things in my life. I do believe when timing is right, maybe it's several things that something comes and it just works. I trust that. I don't say the rest. I enjoy my life. I'm often with myself. I didn't say by myself. I said with myself. I'm confident with myself. I live a great life. I read. I challenge myself. I cook. I'm always bettering my best. If I want to try something, I do it. If I want to move somewhere, I move. I live a very full and complete life. I'm not lacking in any way. So in that way, I don't seek someone to fill a void. Thank you. Listen, I got stories for you. You know how I get this way? Because I'm always in something or coming out of something. But it's also because I know it's what I'll learn. It's what I'll learn. I don't really fear anything. I'm pretty confident I am the solution. And thank you, Sherry. And furthermore, fearing anything does not add in benefit to my life in any way. In any way. As I was going on my morning sexy walk, I walked past one of my best friends, David Macias, his house. And we went to elementary school together. We would ride bikes. He lived around the corner, so like a minute bike ride. My formative years were in suburbia. She always drags her feet. Look at that. And okay, so I'm about to brag more. So if you think it's too much, you haven't seen nothing yet, baby. So David Macias, tract homes or suburban homes, a lot of families in the neighborhood. And this was during the 90s. I would stay out on the front yard and play with people that lived on the street or in the block. There's a pool in the backyard and friends would come over, we would swim. So David would ride his bike over to my house in the morning and we would ride to school. And no, I am not. I'm originally from heaven. What's up, cool Aaron? However, there's probably Caribbean in my family. I mean, most people within the Americas are a conglomerate of many things. So David Macias, his family originally from Mexico, and this was my one of my core memories. What's up from Jamaica? Oh, I have some funny stories about Jamaica. Some of my core memories, his mother making tortillas and frijoles and Mexican food, and they had ranches in Mexico. And they actually built the crates. Oh, I love Trinidad and Tobago. I'm missing my doubles. Please send me some doubles with some chutney, please. I'll tell you remote tours, because I've been there several times. Funny stories with my sister. So they owned factories that would make these crates, like shipping crates. You're welcome. And at their home, yeah, my sister's ex-husband is from Trinidad. At their home, they had a lot of fruit trees. So when I would go to his house, they had a cherry tree, avocado tree, orange tree, grapefruit tree, apple tree, peach tree. Then they had a bunch of plants. They would grow sago palms, which sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. I am my own travel agent. No, I don't use it. I'm the master travel agent. Quite large backyard with a lot of plants, and we would play in the back and climb the trees and climb the cherry tree. I'd be like 9, 10, eating the cherries in the trees, throw water balloons at each other. So as I passed his house this morning, I saw all of the flowers that were blooming. And they have an abundance of red roses and like a carnation pink rose and gardenias. And what is that big fluffy flower? I know it. I think it's it's some type of flower. And I thought, I'm gonna go over to Mrs. Macias's house and ask if I can have some flowers, because they have so many. And to cut some flowers and put in my parents' house. Magnolia, I think, no, it's, no. It's like a big, it looks like a big snow, it looks like a dandelion, but it's a bunch of small flowers. I love hibiscus. No, it's white. It can be white, it can be lilac. Maybe it is I think it starts with a G. I just cannot recall it. So after this, I'm going to walk over and say, how's your son? And da-da-da, and ask for some flowers. And someone's here to assist my dad and clean. Thank you, which is lovely. As I said, I love assistance. I love assistance. Okay, so as I was walking this morning, seeing all of these beautiful signs of childhood, it was like, yeah, it's nice. It's very nice to see something that reminds you of a familiar, uplifting feeling. That's okay. Oh, I love designing. So flowers. I love floral arranging because I love flowers. Ideally, I would have, yay, bell pepper, congratulations. Thank you. His name is White. I love flowers. Ideally, I would have a flower delivery every week for my home. And I love floral arranging. So I would watch YouTube videos like on layovers, and I got a few books on like floral arranging. And when I lived back east, like in New York, they have a flower district. And I would go to the flower district and with the wholesalers and get the leftover flowers and make my own floral arrangements. And then My dad's not going to pick that up. He never picks up his phone. Uh, and also how to work in the leaves or pine cones or other accoutrements into their arranging. And I love it. I love flower arranging. So I'm going to do a little of that here. There's so many nice plants around. And it's fun. This is why, like, when you do fun stuff with yourself, it's like, it's not like you're looking for someone to do fun stuff with. I'm already doing it with me. Thank you. No, Daniel, you've shown no huge sign. You've done nothing but ask. You've done nothing but ask some words. That is not enough. It has to be an extremely grand gesture or I won't even notice it. Yeah, both of my parents. And he has an iPad too, which he never uses. So I'll probably take it. Yeah, no, you've done nothing. You got to do more than that. I already live a great, grand life. I need a huge, grand gesture. No, it's not that. I travel for the summer and usually I come and I visit my parents for like a month. I often visit my parents. When I would fly, it was much more, 4 to 6 times a year. If you don't know what would be a grand gesture, what's a grand gesture I've had? What's a grand gesture? What's a grand gesture? No, my parents are in California. In California. What's the biggest grand gesture? I think I've had we flew somewhere. Everything is outside of the country, probably in some place that you never heard of. The driver would pick me up from the airport with a sign. Okay, so this one's funny. There was a gentleman I was with, and because he was in textiles, we would both travel a lot, which worked perfectly because when you are a regular traveler, it lines up with other regular travelers. And because he traveled so much, it works. Because we would be in the same cities or we could easily travel together. So he had said, and this is when I was living in London, and he was between Paris and like Asia and West Africa. And he said, hey, let's go to Berlin. I have X, Y, and Z. And so I'll see you in Berlin. I said, oh, okay, I'm off. Let's line up those days. And so I flew to Berlin and share. That is funny. Sometimes you gotta tell them. So I flew to Berlin and I'm looking for my driver. I do love a driver. This is here. So this isn't even a grand gesture. This is normal. So I'm looking around and my German is very minimal. And I heard someone say in perfect English, hey, ho! I was like, who knows me here? Because usually they would say, Miss So-and-so or so-and-so. He was like, yo, ho, what's up? I said, who is that? I turned around, it was the driver. He was like, oh, yeah, he sent me. I said, is that how you greet people? Hey, yo, ho! but it worked. It worked. It just kind of caught me by surprise to be in Berlin airport and someone's like, yo, what's up, Hope? Is you Hope? Oh, okay, come on, come on. So then, while I was there, Berlin is really cool. Yeah, Berlin is cool. That was a cool trip. What's another? Similar things like that in beautiful destinations. That was also, oh, this was a nice gesture. It was my birthday, and I would usually go to Senegal because I love Senegal. It's everything I love. Senegal is like everything I love in one. It's beautiful. It is hot. It is, the people are beautiful. The food is beautiful. The air is beautiful. Everything about Senegal. The sun is intense. The colors are, I don't need to book through your website. I fly everywhere for free. However, thank you. I appreciate that. The smell of the place is beautiful. It smells of beautiful food, and it smells of, it has beautiful sounds. And the beach in Senegal, where I would say you would see these brightly colored long boats, almost like canoes of bright reds and blues and greens and yellows, and it just is vibrant and robust, and it glows and it glistens. It's magical to me. I love Senegal. It's one of my most favorite places. You know, I don't have a favorite. However, I often would put that in the top 5. Love Senegal. And the people, the spirit, just everything. The sounds that I would hear just is uniquely its own. And so I was there with, yeah, oh yeah, and the water is lovely. And it's so beautiful because Senegal has a huge surfing, it's a huge surfing destination. And you see these magnetic tourmaline, black tourmaline colored bodies, like glistening with the water in the ocean. It is beautiful. Please tell me. I have yet to visit Kenya. All of my traveling has been throughout West Africa. I missed you too, Tammy. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I am here. I am here. Continue to like and share the live, please. So I was there for my birthday. We would always go there for my birthday. And I think right when I landed, I got a massage and facial because I love that. When I travel, I love a massage. I love a massage just after travel because it does pull from your body, and it's a great way to recover. When I used to fly, I would fly so much, like people would come on and say, oh, okay, yeah, I will be able to share soon. As of right now, I cannot share anything about Kenya. I can tell you about some of my Kenyan friends, though. So I love a massage anytime I fly. There's a lot that goes on with travel. Just the exchange of energies and people and regulation and the sound of the plane. So get to Senegal, get a facial, a massage. I think we went to dinner, and really the next day I just wanted to stay by the pool all day, because I would stay at the Radisson Bleu, which has this beautiful infinity pool that overlooks the bay and the ocean. And I remember him sending one of the servers over from the restaurant by the pool, and he came and sang happy birthday to me with a little cake, and I was sitting by the pool. It was great. And I turned around and he's like, it was cute. That was a nice gesture. Then buying like all of the roses. You know, people would, thank you, Dirk. People will walk around carrying roses. I think that same person just bought all the roses. That was kind of grand. He just bought all of them. What's up, Jessica? Nice to see you. So, you're welcome then. Back to summer travel, because it's just travel. It's not summer travel, it's just travel. I believe, because we're on this topic of travel, listen, I always appreciate a gift. Flight attendants are always going to give you exceptional service, period. However, I would suggest to do that. Like, I always will buy chocolate. Now, when I'm flying, I will buy gift cards from Starbucks, like $5 gift cards, and give them to everyone. But you don't have to. It's just a kind gesture. So they may say, here's a free bottle of alcohol, or where are you sitting? And they'll bring you something from first class. We would always do that. We would just note, like, who brought the gift, and then go and personally say thank you. And it just makes you feel good and makes us feel good. Okay, so you're healing and your body is strengthening in every moment. And I send more healing and nutrients that you need, that you already have, to continue healing. So Starbucks gift cards, I tell my sisters, most of my sisters and nieces do that, like once a month or twice a month. Just go buy one $5 or $10 worth of Starbucks gift cards if you know you're going to be flying. Thank you. It is. You know, okay, so listen to this, Dirk. So, I went to the movies, which I don't do. I say my life is a movie, because as a flight attendant, I was always moving and seeing beautiful locations, and I like to be present without headphones, like walk around, become lost in a city, take a class in a city that I'm visiting. When I travel, I like to, hi, I'm back. I like to take like a yoga class in a city that I'm visiting, things that I would do anyway. Thank you for the peace and love. So I won't go to a movie. I'll go to a performance. I may go to like a independent or foreign film showing, but that's like once every 5 years. I don't listen to anything in English, actually. So I'm here with my family, and my sister and my niece go to the movies. And initially I thought, nah, I just flew in. I'm like tired. And immediately it said, go. You go on and you tell people to say yes. You're saying no. Say yes. Go to the movies. So I thought, I will go to the movies. I'll go to the movies. Why not? I'm like, these seats are dirty and it's loud. It's like a lot. I'm going to go to the movies. Oh, cool. Japanese. Yes. Very cool. So my niece wanted to see Spider-Man for the 3rd time. And she goes with her dad all the time to the movies. I haven't seen like Spider-Man till, I think I saw the first one with Tobey Maguire, but other than that, I don't know. Yes, you have to say yes. And So as the aunties, my niece is 13. She lives in New York City, but she comes to spend time during the summer with my parents, her grandparents, and she has her California life. So we all went to the movies, and yeah, that's okay. However, we're going to focus on the healing because it did happen. And you're healing. You're here with me today, so you're going to heal a lot, girl. What you talking about? You here for some healing. So, yeah, that Toby thing. But I'm with my niece. She's 13. Love her so much. And my sister. And they get all of their food and put it in their bags. Like they go either to the dollar store, you get all your candy. She had a Dr. Pepper in her bag. She brought Raising Cane's, like chicken strips and fries, all into the theater, like proper food. And the theater has the nice reclining full chairs, and the seats go up, all this stuff. I was like, wow, this is what movies are now. Oh, thank you, Paulina. Thank you, Paulina. I'm so glad you're here, Jessica, because I have so many great stories for you. So there's also a table where you can put stuff. It's like, this is great. This is like a business class seat at the airport. Thank you. It's my two-piece. I like it too. Got it from the thrift store. So we sit down. We go to see Spider-Man something something. It's this animated thing. And as we sit down, we had 10, 11, 12. And I pay attention to numbers. So I was like, 10, no, 11, 12. I don't want 12. Okay, I'm going to sit in 10. Like it was a conscious thing to sit in 10. My niece was in 11. My youngest sister, the tallest, was in 12. Oh, no, it's a two-piece, honey. No, I'm too fly for that. Ain't no dress. It's a two-piece, honey. We break it up, you know. So I was in 10. My niece is in 11. My sister's in 12. They have their full smorgasbord of food. Thank you, thank you. Listen, is there any other way? Is there any other way? The movie starts, and I see there's an empty seat to the immediate right of me, number 9. But 8 was occupied with a gentleman with a baseball hat. And I thought, oh, okay. I just noticed there was an empty seat. Yeah, my parents' Wi-Fi is definitely on the mend. So stick around so you can hear. So the movie starts. And I see someone come and hand the person in seat 8 some popcorn. Tall gentleman, nice looking gentleman, and then walked away. Listen, you don't need to stand. Okay, sidebar. That is great. That means I'm doing something right. That means I'm on track. I know I am the coolest mofo ever. Of course I would influence people. That's what life is about. No one can be me, only I can be me. So I'm never concerned if someone is influenced by me in any way. That's why I'm me. That's life. That's what life is. For me to find offense in that is not accepting the blessing and the gift. Because to acknowledge the appreciation of someone and show it in their own personal form, to me, is beautiful and an act of kindness. And I'm really cool. So I understand. I would too. My niece, when I came, because me and my niece used to live together when I lived in New York. Um, from like 2 to age 9, we were the only ones on the East Coast. So I basically grew up with my niece who's here now. The Energy, user 2005, The Energy. Yeah, so when I arrived, her friends loved me. My niece's 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old. They love me. I'm Super Hope. And I would go to the school and like rap, and I'm a big kid. So when I landed here, she told her friend, hey, my auntie is here. And her friend was like, oh my gosh, can you have her send me a video saying hi, saying my name? And it was kind of cool. They're very cool. Thank you. So anyway, the movie theater, empty seat. I'm in 10, 9 is empty, 8 has someone. So as we're watching the movie, I notice my niece actually knows words to the whole movie. I appreciate you. Tell him I appreciate him, that I'll keep showing up. So as I was watching it, I was like, yo, have you seen this before? She's like, yeah, this is my 3rd time. I said, 3rd time? Okay. So someone sits in seat 9. Remember, I'm in 10. It was very aesthetically pleasing man that almost had a similar tone to my skin. And he was also mouthing the words to the movie. Now, I haven't been in a movie theater in years, like years. I really don't watch movies or go to the movie theater. However, all of that stands out because I don't normally go to the movies. And both people on either side of me are reciting passages from the movie. So it was actually kind of cool, but I was like, how much do you guys love this? So my niece and the guy in the seat 9 were in cadence. Like they were saying the same thing at the same time. And so they did that, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are like in sync. How many times have you seen this movie? I say this to the guy in seat 9. And he turns with this beautiful smile and he said, oh, this is my 2nd time. I said, my niece has seen it 3 times. You guys are like the perfect match. You guys are, well, not really, because she's 13 and he's like an adult. But you guys keep saying parts of the script at the same time. And he laughed. He said, yeah, I really like this, and I've seen them all, and something, something, something. I said, oh, okay. I have no idea what you're talking about, because I have never seen any of these. However, maybe I should pay attention. And I go back to watching the movie, which I enjoyed. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the time. So once the movie was complete, the gentleman in 9 was there and the lights came on. And my niece was talking to my sister and I talked to everyone. So he said, hey, did you enjoy the movie? And I said, I did. I really liked it. I may have to watch some others because there was some inside dialogue that I was unaware of. He was like, yeah, I like such and such. So why are you here? I was like, oh, I'm coming to visit my parents. I just flew in from Hawaii. He said, oh, I'm here with family, but I go to med school. I go to med school in San Francisco, so I'm just here for a few days. Now, to the ladies, this was a aesthetically pleasing young man. As I say, these things happen to me all the time, so it's not like out of the ordinary, you know. I attract these things into my life. I attract the attractive med student to sit right next to me. It always happens. This is just the life I live. It's just the blessings that I receive for being Hope, okay? It happens. And I have another story about an MTC. So, and in my mind, I'm thinking, of course, this cute, handsome, spry, beautiful gentleman would sit here and I would be here with my, that's why I said yes. This is why you got to keep saying yes, Hope. You never know who's sitting there. And because that's what I attract, that's always going to come. However, we continued to speak, and I said, where did you spend your formative years? I don't say, where did you grow up? I always say, where did you spend your formative years? Because that could be many different places. I love spry. It's actually a great explanation, like spry. You know, I love that word. So he told me his family is from Dominica in the Caribbean, and his formative years were spent in southern New Mexico. And what he loved about attending medical school in San Francisco is the large Black American population, which he did not, he was not offered in southern New Mexico. And I said, oh, I understand that. I understand the need for that. And there was somewhat of a similarity. I mean, well, I have a very Black household, so it's not like I was ever lacking that. Love my family. However, I did have a diverse group of people from childhood up. Diverse in the sense of one of my best friends was Armenian, one of my best friends was Cambodian, and I was a maid of honor in her Cambodian wedding, and I got to wear all the different dresses. I will. You're healing in the most beautiful way. So enjoy your process of healing, rest, and hydrate. And one of my best friends was half Japanese, half Swedish, but her parents met at BYU. And another one of my friends was Jewish. So those were my 4 girlfriends throughout probably middle school and high school. With others, specifically within Black people, maybe not, but I was always in, I guess, what would be called Black spaces. So churches, or I didn't really think about it. I had a lot of Black people at home. However, I did understand that essence of wanting to be around that. And that was why I chose one of my first spaces, which was DC, which is Chocolate City, outside of Chicago. To have that experience, or more likely, just to be in it. It's not even the experience, just to immerse myself. And so immediately from Central California, I did surround myself. Thank you. Yes, we are excitingly waiting to hear how well you are healing. So my first space, when I was offered my role as a flight attendant, they said, okay, so you have, I think, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, and DC. LA and San Francisco, no. I'd I've traveled all throughout California my whole life with my parents, and events, cheer competition, seeing family. I know the whole state. Thank you. I've always said I'm a great president's wife, but why be the president's wife? Now I'll just be the president. That's better. Why not? Hope for office. So LA and San Francisco were already off. I'd already had years in LA. Me and one of my friends would always go. She always loved to be around artists, and she had friends there. So there was a time we would go during like MTV Movie Awards weekend, all of that, like in the early 2000s. It was a cool time. I did that. Bay Area, I did that. Did not want to be based in California. It was, thank you. It is, and it's getting better and better in every way. Thank you, Nate. Didn't want to be based in California because I was from California. Chicago was a no. We had traveled to Chicago many times as kids. It was one of my father's favorite cities, and it was too cold. It was too cold. I know about snow. I had lived in St. Louis, Missouri. What's up? Yeah, there we go. We do. Trust, we do. Yeah, Chicago was like, I knew the snow. I love a challenge, and most people don't challenge me. That's why it's, you don't challenge me. I have yet to say that, Sir Confrance. I've yet to say that. So, Chicago was a no. Didn't want the snow. Definitely wanted DC. Because DC for me was like, it's DC. It is Chocolate City. However, because I've always loved the idea of being a diplomat's wife or all of that, it's DC. Also, DC has Howard. DC has quite a rich community in so many ways. So much history. So many people come through DC. And it was not New York. I've spoken about this. I don't think so highly of New York. New York's not that spectacular to me as a city. However, my sister lives in New York. So, oh, what's up? Oh my gosh, I have so many stories about Howard. So I knew on weekends when I was off, I could take the 30-minute flight from DC to New York. I know, I love DC. I'm in California right now too. And spend the weekend or the week with my sister in New York, and she would do the same for DC. So I said that would be cool. So my first base was DC, and initially I was living in Virginia. I was in Alexandria. Yeah, California is visit everything. Like, whether someone says it's lovely or it's not lovely, just go. A lot of people don't know what's nice anyway, so just go. So when I first landed, when I was first based in DC, I stayed with a friend of mine from my hometown. Yeah, Alexandria. So he was my older sister's age. He was almost Alexandria. I was in Alexandria, Virginia, near Old Town. He was my sister's age. He I think liked my sisters or went to school with them. I was just the cute little sister that was cool. And he had left the hometown and was now a police officer in DC. So I'm like the cool older sister. This is how this starts. When I got hired, we reported to the base, and I think before I got my hotel stay, because the company would give you like a week or two hotel stay when you first report so you can find a place to stay. Maybe there was a lag, but I remember calling him like, hey, yo. He was like, what's up, Hope? I just called him the day before. I was like, yo, I need a place to stay. He was like, when are you coming? I said, tomorrow. He was like, you coming tomorrow? I said, yeah. He's like, all right, I'll come get you. Cool dude. I got a lot of like older brothers through my sisters. So I didn't know, but I'm like, I think I'm 5 years younger than him. I think 5 years. So he had just started dating this girl, who's now his wife, but he had just started dating her. And I have a lot. This is bringing them out because I forgot about this. So I called him when I landed. I was like, yo, come get me. I'm at the airport. He was like, all right. That's how I would just call him. Not like, hey, I'm landing at... I did tell him what time I was landing. But I was like, hey, I'm at the airport. Come get me. He was like, all right, Hope, I'll come right now. So he gets in the car and he comes. He was like... I think he told me his girlfriend didn't like that I was staying with him. And I was like, I don't care. So, why are you... you go deal with her. If she doesn't like... I'm like your little sister, but you got to deal with that. You got to nip that in the butt. Regardless of what she feels, I'm still going to stay here, so I don't care. So, I remember I came to the house. Oh, that's why she got upset. Okay. So, he was driving. And I was on speakerphone and I called and she was in the car and I was like, yo, what's up? He was like, what's up, Hope? I said, hey, I need somewhere to stay. She was in the car and she was like, who is this girl saying like, yo, I'm staying at your house? Regardless, that doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm going to go to sleep at my brother's house. So I go to sleep at his house, and men live like cavemen. Like, all you guys just will have a cot or a bed on the floor and a lawn chair and like a blanket and a PlayStation and a TV, and that's it. That's crazy to me. So it wasn't the most comfortable, but hey, it's what I needed. So, yeah, I stayed with him like a day or two. Yeah, no, that's not, no. Minimalism is like an two Italian-made chairs that are like $7,000 each. And a very modern couch that's like 20 grand. That, a lawn chair, or those plastic chairs... The plastic chairs are not for inside. They're for outside. If you have those white plastic chairs, those actually go outside. And a poker table is for poker. It's not for like making sandwiches. It's not for like a kitchen table. No, that's Hope. Difference. So, what was I saying with Kosi? I stayed with him, and then I told you the story when I was almost arrested. See, I've been ducking and dodging. I've been on some adventures because of that really cheap hotel we stayed in. But when I first got my place, which was really cool, it was some townhomes in Alexandria, and I loved it because it was my first place and it was beautiful, and almost doesn't count though. I'll go into that story. That one is funny. So right before I got the townhome that we had moved into, it was me and two other girls. And we were looking for places to stay, and we constantly, thank you, cool Aaron. It's lovely to have your presence. So as we were in this girl's like Chevrolet Corsica, Okay, imagine a gray Chevrolet Corsica. Anyone who knows a Corsica, you know a Corsica. And our lives were in this Corsica. I didn't bring a car. I just took my bags and flew from California to DC. I just had maybe 2 bags. I didn't bring too much. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with giving away my whole life and starting over. So I had my 2 bags with my passport and birth certificate. My other friend had her life, and the other friend had her life in this car. And this was after we had our hotel stay, because the airline gave you, I think, 10 days free in a hotel to get yourself situated. Get yourself situated. Such as finding an apartment, buying a car, whatever. The airline would give you like 10 days paid in the like Marriott that wasn't far from the airport when you first reported after training. And within that time, we were also flying. So we actually didn't we ran out of time. Let me change that. The time that we had was more than what we had. Exactly. You just keep, this is the thing. I don't feel embarrassed. The fact is, I will just keep trying. Do you see it? Do you get it? Do you get it? No. And if I switch languages, I find that happens. If I switch languages or I'm reading in another language. Situated. S-I-T-A, like situation. Situated. Get yourself cozy and in the flow. Like, get yourself well there. I'll do that too. I'll also write it out. Thank you. So we had surpassed our time in the hotel. We put all our stuff in the car. Hope said, hey, there's like a Super 8 right here, not far. We can all pay like $20 each or like $30 each and get a room with 2 beds and like the couch bed or something. But I was tired of them. I also get tired of people because I have 4 sisters. However, I was raised in a home with 3 of them. So I was raised with 6 people. And thank you. We weren't on top of each other. We all had our own rooms and our own space. Oh, I think Granny was coming out. And you know I love some grannies. So I really enjoy being with myself. I understand when I enjoy being in concert with others. However, I understand when I'm ready to disband from being in concert with others. I need my lip gloss. Where did I put my... All right. The best thing about having a sister is that I just go in her room and take her lip gloss. Okay. So, right. I know my social disconnect time. I can give you a good 90 minutes, 2 hours tops. After that, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go and rinse off this energy. I feel a lot to be able to speak and be clear. I understand time with myself is important. And exchanging depletes. So I was tired of them. So when we checked into the hotel, it was like only 2 stories, really. I think it was a Super 8. I don't even think it was a Motel 6. We were trying to just spend like $30 each or less. No, I am a fire sign though. And so when we checked in, our room was on the top floor. And as we arrived to the room AC unit was no longer functioning. Like the fan was, but it wasn't getting cold. And so they wanted to get another room. And I said, you guys can go get your room. However, I don't want to be around you. So I'm going to stay here and you can take the new room and I'll meet you in the morning. But I'm going to stay in this room because I need like space. They said, Hope, are you sure? I said, I'm sure. They said, okay, you got to wake up early. I said, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. So they left and we all went to sleep, and lo and behold, I didn't wake up on time. So I was woken up by the maid who entered the room, who was immediately frightened to see someone sleeping in the bed when on her sheet, no one was supposed to be in the room. And so she was like, Dios mío, what are you doing here? And I was just like, okay, Hope, here we go. Here we go. My immediate thought was like, I'm not here. I'm not even here. I'm not even here. To me, that made sense. So what's up, sunshine? Sunshine back at you. I just said, I'm not even here. And I already had my bags and everything packed. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that and I receive that. Thank you. So I had my pajamas, but I was like putting on maybe shorts and a top, trying to get out of the room as soon as possible. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And all the while, the woman is saying, you shouldn't be in here. You shouldn't be in here. You stole this room. You're in trouble. The police are coming. I was like, oh man, I just got hired by United. Like, I could not. I could not. So she's walking towards the phone. She picks up the phone and I'm like backing out. I'm backing out. I have my stuff. I'm just trying to walk out of the room. And she calls the front desk like, she's in here. She's in here. Call the police. Call the police. I was like, man, no. This is, I'll figure this out. No, my friends went and got another room because the room I was staying in, the AC was broke. So I decided to stay in the room, but they turned in the key. So the thought was no one was in that room. But I was. So she calls the front desk. The front desk say, come out of there right now. And I was like, I'll pay for the room. Like, I don't want no problem. I don't want no problems, okay? I got caught. I got to get out of this. I'll pay for the room. So they said, you're stealing. We've called the police. The police are here. I was like, oh, man. Okay. Technically, yes, but not really. I mean, steal? How? So as I come out, I see the manager's like, there she is, right there. It was so overly traumatic. Like, there she is, right there. It's not like I had a weapon. I had like my phone in one hand, my bag in the other. I walked out and I saw the police, and I don't care for law enforcement. Like, I do have a lot of adventures, but until, No, no, I don't do any of that. So I don't like that. And I saw them and I was like, man, what is going to happen? They're like, come down here right now. I said, I'm coming anyway. I'm coming to pay for the room. So I came down the stairs and everyone, it was like a crowd. I don't know what people thought they were going to see. My friends were already in the car. They were like looking like, oh, come on. So I went, I paid for the room, and then I came out and he was like, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, doing what? I just paid for the room. Why did you even say that? That's like this security guard, by where I live in Maui, there's a college with a farm, or where they grow plants. And I'm a plant goddess, so I'm always gathering leaves or foraging. And I would charge my car at the college. So I would charge my car and then walk home. A couple hours later, walk back, get my car. So I went to pick some plants. I picked a few mamaki leaves, which is this native Hawaiian plant that can be used as a tea. It's great for the body, can be used on wounds. It's just great. I grabbed a lemon, and this was during the sun was down. So I didn't notice he had his flashlight out, and I'm just picking stuff, and I hear someone say, hey, get out of here. I was like, okay, I didn't know you couldn't go to the community farm. So he said, you know, you're not supposed to be in here. He has the flashlight. And I was like, I was unaware. Why is that the response? Why is that the response to me picking a plant that I can't come and chart? Why is that response? And who are you to even gather that? So anyway, I said, oh, okay. And I'm walking to the car. Now, at this point, this is a big guy. I'm like, why are you walking me to the car? That's kind of threatening. Anyway, he said, don't come back here. And I said, that's ridiculous. I come here every day and charge my car. You can't tell me. None of this is making sense. Don't come back here. I'm going to come back. You're going to see me tomorrow. Why are we even doing this? Number one. Number two, he said, go back to where you came from, opposed to where I didn't come from. Like, that doesn't, why would you even piece together that sentence? Am I going to go back to where I didn't come from? It doesn't make sense, but that's just my intelligent brain. Like, okay, no, maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want to go somewhere else. These are all just figurative things that I think of that may or may not make sense. However, that was the other authorities that said I could not pick the vegetables. No, it was funny. It wasn't anything. It wasn't anything. I didn't see it. I really thought of, okay, let's say I came from my house. If you say, go back to where you come from, your house, maybe I want to go to my friend Marsha's house. Then what? I see it in a funny way like this. So, anyway, that's what happened with the hotel where the police came. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I have the glow from the parents. I love being with my parents. I do. Thank you. Oh, it's a 2-piece, honey. Let me. It's a 2-piece, honey. It's a 2-piece summer. You don't, well, that's your experience, T. That's not mine. This is how I see it. You got it. Again, for me, I see it in, no, I don't want to. That's like, go away. No, I don't want to. I don't want to go away. I want to be right here. I don't take anything below a level that I set. So I wasn't, yes, it's an ensemble, okay? I love my ensembles. I often change my ensembles throughout the day, as does my mom. I'm seeing this. Maybe I'm just my mom. So I wasn't arrested that time. I got in the car and we were like, whew, we made it. I do remember, oh geez. Yeah, see, DC, again, I went for the culture because DC is Chocolate City. Love DC. However, I knew it wasn't it. Like, DC is fun. DC was fun. I moved there at 22. You have your diplomats. You have every type of entertainment. It's a collegiate town. It's academia. It's political. Like, everything is there. Thank you. And everything has melanin. Let me just say this. Everything. Including most animals. Everything has melanin. The only thing that's without is someone who is albino. So every human, as well as most animals, have melanin. So DC, yeah, was fun because dating, I have to say, I have all of these different cities, and it's a great experience. I mean, it's you just have a wide range of people, and DC was fun. There was always something fun to do, and one of my best friends graduated from Howard. She was the lacrosse, I think she was the lacrosse captain, and we would always go out, that's what's up, and have so much fun. There was this place, because she's in broadcast journalism. She now is a representative for NBC, the NBC station in London. And we had so much fun in London, but she was my first friend in DC. One in each state? What are you talking about, Tri-Pearl? Did I have one? I probably never have one of everything. I am always this way. People, I live a great life. And right now, it's a high of like being with my parents. I really enjoy seeing my family. I'm with my parents. I'm with my niece from New York. I'm with my younger sister. I'm going to see my older sister. So boyfriends, no, I don't keep more than one boyfriend. If I have a boyfriend, that's it. If I'm not in a relationship, there's always multiple options because the best options come to me. And until it's proven like this is the best option, there's always options. So DC was, okay, so before I even got to DC, remember the open seat with the handsome gentleman with brown skin who was a medical student here or in San Francisco, but was here with family. I never even finished that. We had this great conversation, and I thought he was going to say something else, but he was like, okay, Hope, bye. I was like, bye. Okay, bye. However, a compliment can be given without the expectation of something more. And I accept that. Like, you can just say, I think you're a beautiful woman. Have a lovely day. Without the expectation of, give me your contact so I can stay in contact. I will just take the compliment. So he went away. So the open seat. I don't know what listen, Charles, a lot of people say that. Listen, if you feel brave enough, but if you know you can't, most people won't. And I'm okay with that. So, on my way to flight attendant training, when I left home, Central California, I was going to training, which was in Chicago for like 8 weeks, 2 months. I had to live in Chicago and stay at the training center for the airline. And it was like a college experience. You slept in almost like a dorm room. So there was quite a large room. You would walk in, and immediately to your right would be a bathroom with a toilet, 2 sinks, and a shower. And yeah, and beauty is beauty. Like I understand that. Like, you got to detach it. Especially as a man, I can have a purely platonic friendship with a man. Like, I don't even turn that other switch on. However, men often, you guys really, not you guys. What I have found, there have been individuals that are learning how to interact with a woman outside of a relationship, possible physical relationship. There. So, on my way to, so the room had the bathroom, then you would walk in, there would be a bed. I think it was like a full-size bed. Then there was a wardrobe attached to the wall, dividing, and there was another bed. And sometimes across from that, there was a third bed. But that's how the rooms in the training center were set up. And you would report to different rooms every day at different times for training, for CPR, for knowledge on service. And it was always constant. Like, one day you may start at 5 a.m. The next day you may start at 3 p.m. The next day you may start 11 a.m. Because the thought from the airline was this would be your schedule when flying. And so that was for 8 weeks. I immediately left my parents' home, which is the home I'm in right now, to report to training in Chicago. And I do. I'm a real human being who knows emotions and is compassionate enough to allow a human being to just show up without a judgment. I don't know. Soulshine, what does that even mean? And who would know that? Like, the numbers? I don't know. Maybe they just, I don't know. I don't know what people think. I just allow people to show up. And, okay. So, that was the training center. I left California to go to the training center in Chicago. And I remember the night before I got on the plane, I was crying, sad, all of the thoughts, because I knew my life was forever changed. I knew this is what I wanted. I knew what I was leaving behind, and I knew what was in front of me I didn't know but was for me. And I was here in my room, my childhood room, just crying, like sobbing, like, whoa, this is the jump. Thank you, I appreciate that. This is the jump. And I get it, because that was the first big jump. That night, crying before going to the training center in Chicago for 2 months, to know that I'm going to become a flight attendant, I'm going to travel the world, I'm going to have the best life, I'm going to speak multiple languages, I'm going to do all of this stuff. It will start now, but understand it starts now. Like, yeah, the friends and everything, they're always my friends, but I'm not going to see them. Accept that. Of course you love your parents and you love being around them, but you won't. And you can be around them at other times. Accept that. You don't know what you're doing, and you don't really know how to operate in the world, because I had never lived outside of my parents' home, but I'm smart and I'll figure it out. Accept that. Like, it was those thoughts. Yeah, like I'm really going like I've said I wanted to, but now I'm jumping. And what that brought, because the tears were all of it. It was like what I'm letting go, what I'm letting in, who I have to let go of, what lessons I'm learning, like how I'll grow. Really the morning of the leaving of that self and the excitement of what's next. The excitement of like, this is amazing. I'm 22 and I'm getting paid to travel the world. And I'm smart. And I know how far I'll take this. Like, this was not a joke to me. This was not a joke. And yeah, that transformation. And sometimes not even sometimes, there's always that transition moment. And I've done it often, so it's not that I prepare for it. I'm just aware of it. And I'm aware that it passes. But if you're unaware, you may believe that this is how it just stays. No, it passes. That transitional moment is there for a reason. How do you handle that? Because what's next is amazing, but come on, let's get it together. Like, it's that transformation. And also knowing I don't need to fear that. I can feel it and let it go and move on. For me to fear that transition, me crying, the lack of familiar, for me to fear it without action is doing myself harm. Is doing myself harm, you know? So I do remember crying. I might have stayed up for hours, if not the whole night. And also feeling like excited, because after you cry, the brain sets off some chemicals and neurotransmitters to essentially be like endorphins to make you feel good and start a healing process. So cry. Don't tell yourself, don't cry. In fact, don't tell people not to cry. Crying is an expression that is purposeful. And after that, I was like, yeah, this is going to be so good. This is going to be amazing. This is good. Like it was all of that reinvention that I crave at times. However, this was the first. And so I had the man that formerly stood by my side, because I don't say exes, I say the man that formerly stood by my side. He took me to the airport in the morning. And I remember even that being like, oh, like, you were great and you're done. Of course, there's going to be wonderful people that I'm going to meet. As much as I cared for our relationship, this is the best thing for me. And we had, I think, breakfast at the airport. And we hugged, and I think I wept, but he was like, you're going to be amazing. I was like, yeah, I know, it's going to be great. And I got on the flight to go to San Francisco. And then I was flying from San Francisco to Chicago. So on going through San Francisco airport, and again, I was so excited. I was going to flight attendant training the next day. And I get on the plane, and it's a 57. So a 757 at that time, when you walked in, immediately to your right was a row of seats, and in front of you was another emergency exit, and there was a galley. So if you made a left, you walked past the galley, past the lavatory, into first class. If you turned right, you went down the aisle towards economy. And so I got on the flight, and I was in that first row of seats. So everyone was walking past me when they were boarding. I was closest to the fuselage, or the window. I was the window. And as I got on, I came on and I went up to the flight attendants like, I'm here for flight attendant training. I'm going to training. I'm so excited. They're like, oh, we're so happy. And they took my bag and they put it in the closet up front. So I'm sitting and people are boarding the flight. So as they're boarding, I'm at the window, the middle seat is empty, and the aisle seat has a person. So people are boarding, and I see a kind of cute guy, but he goes up to first. And I was like, okay, because I'm always aware. I am always aware of who's coming on the plane. I'm always aware of who's around me, period. So we start nearing the ending of the boarding process. And this middle seat next to me is still empty. And so the flight attendants make the final announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. We are getting ready to depart. All overhead bins now need to be closed and locked for our departure. So I said, oh, okay, I guess I'll have this empty seat next to me. And as all the bins are being closed, the cute guy comes and sits down right in the middle seat next to me. He was just standing out of the way of the aisle during boarding. And I was like, yes, of course. So again, I'm 22. I'm going to Chicago for 2 months for flight attendant training. Cute guy sits down. So I was like, great. Eventually we start a conversation. And he tells me he's in Chicago. No, I'm never on the pro. No, I'm not on the pro. That's being aware of what's around you. I don't prowl. I attract. There's a very big difference. So as we're talking, he says he works in tech in Chicago, but he's originally from the DC, Virginia area. I was like, great, I'm going to be based in DC. And he said, oh, okay, well, while you're in Chicago, I would love to take you out to dinner. I was like, exceptional. I would love to be taken out to dinner, and we'll stay in touch. So that was immediately, and we talked the whole flight from San Francisco to Chicago. So eventually, we went out to dinner a few times. I think we went to a show, like live music in Chicago, and he would show me around Chicago. Really intelligent guy. Originally, like from VA, boarding school. He didn't go to Howard, but he was like a boarding school, private school type guy. And cool dude. And there's a lot of cool dudes. So, cool dude. And eventually we just stopped talking less because, well, I was there for training. The thing was, nothing was going to deter me from becoming a flight attendant. There was nothing. I am here to become a flight attendant. Meeting people is great, but that's not my goal. My goal is to be successful in this, which means everything can come secondary to that. This is the goal. If I don't talk to anyone, great. And I shared this. I would wake up, the training center had like 7 or 8 levels. I would wake up at 5 and run the stairs like 10 times. Just beast mode, because I wanted that edge to retain information. This was the leap for me. I knew this would link me to the world and everything I knew. So anything outside of the successful completion was not what I saw. And that's how I see things. If I want to move somewhere, I don't really think of everything that comes in between. I know what the goal is. So whatever comes between that is just a part of it. Solve it. Get the end part. I'm not going to say I would move, but then you got to pack, and then I hate packing. Well, that's just what you got to do. So you either focus on the goal, or just remove that middle part. I don't understand how highlighting what you have to do, how that benefits you. It doesn't do anything. In fact, for the most part, it deters people. So I remember one time we were out in like not Wrigleyville, some area of Chicago. Me and the guy were in this cab, and this taxi cab driver was speeding. He was like, ah! I don't know what, this is my life. These things always happen. But this taxi cab driver was putting the pedal to the metal. And he was just like, ah! So I remember my date saying, hey, guys, slow down. And the dude hit the brakes. And as he hit the brakes, my head went through that little plexiglass, like that middle plexiglass. I remember like, what is going on here today? So fast forward, I was successful with flight attendant training, and we didn't talk as often, but we would touch base from time to time. And when I moved to Alexandria, I think the first few weeks he reached out and was like, hey, I would like you to be my date to this wedding. Now, at the time, I was like, well, why would you want me to be the date? Now, I don't know why I thought that, because we hadn't talked in a while. So he just called and invited me to be his date. Now I would say, okay, of course, sure. I just thought it was out of the blue, but I was a kid. I didn't know anything. Well, I knew something, but not much. So I said yes when I wanted to say no. And this is where I learned this. I should have just said no. And it's not what I should have done. This was the lesson I learned to now know. It's never was should. It's always, now that I know, this is the choice I'll make. I said yes. I did not intend on going. So I remember not telling him, and then standing him up the day of the wedding. He called and was like, are you on your way? And I was like, I'm not coming. He was like, you're not coming? Hope, why didn't you tell me? I was like, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. In this day, I would not do that. However, because I'm an 8, and 8 is apparently a karmic number, things automatically come back to me. I have to do good. Things come back. So he was living the wedding was at some place in Virginia. And he went to the wedding, and then we never talked again. I don't even think I picked up his call. It was whack. But it came back because I came off a flight one time in DC, and oh no, we were in Chicago. I was in Chicago airport, and I see him walking towards me. This is months later. This might have been a year later. And I was like, oh shoot, that's dude. And I tried to look, I'm so animated that I looked, I was like, I can't walk past this guy. I can't walk past this guy. And I stood him up for that wedding, and I never answered the calls. And here he is. Okay, I just gotta hope, you gotta woman up. You gotta woman up. And so we connected eyes, and I was like, oh, hi. He was like, hi, Hope. And I apologized. I said, you know what? That wasn't the greatest way for me to have handled that. I really apologize. I'm like, I was embarrassed to even see him. I explained to him then, but that's my life. It said, okay, you want to do that? He's randomly in the airport right now. So I wouldn't do that now. And you can't avoid people. That's not the first guy I saw in the airport. I've seen like 2 or 3. And you can't really just walk past each other. Or you can. I have done that. I have walked right past people. Like, I see nothing, I say nothing. I see you, but I don't need to acknowledge you. And I don't mind doing that. So, yeah, that was my venture into DC. And I got into that because I remembered the gentleman who was sitting next to me at the movie theater saying he wanted that experience of being around Black Americans and people, just diversity. And that's how I thought of this story about DC, because that's why I wanted to be in DC. And I've lived, so I understand when individuals say that, especially Black Americans, because it's often, there's individuals that haven't had that experience of solely being around the comfort of other Black Americans. I operate around everyone. I operate around everyone. However, DC was chosen for that. And I've lived in other predominantly Black cities to have that experience, and I understand it. It's not something that is high on my prerequisite list anymore. After living in New York, Newark, even East London, I've lived in some beautiful spaces. And Paris, like, there's arrondissements in Paris that are solely West African, Black West African. So I understood what he meant. I understood that completely. And cute guy, very cute guy. So I'm glad I said yes. I said yes to going. I said yes to sitting in number 10. And I said yes to, did you like the movie? And saying yes has brought beauty. And I always talk about saying yes, and I am saying yes too. So you got to say yes, okay? I am so happy. I am really happy. And the sun is just as bright here as Hawaii, so I still get my sun. A lot of this comes from sun. I am a sun goddess. I get my power from the sun, so it is bright. It is bright and sunny in Central California and very hot. It's like 113. There's heat advisories, so it's all good. And the glow you see is because I'm with my family. I do like my family, and we laugh, and I love seeing my mom and dad. So yeah, thank you. And the glow you see, it's because I'm with my board of trustees. So be the reflection of love, because we all are like galloping infinite sources of love. Bonjour, oui, ça va? C'est bon robe ici. C'est mon favorite. Parce que j'adore les robes, Tatiana. Be the reflection of infinite love, because that is what you are. Show up. I'm showing up. Make it look good when you show up. I'm always making it look good when I show up. And can you imagine? I walked into the thrift store and this was boop right there. All the best pour moi. C'est excellent pour moi. C'est bon pour moi. C'est tout. And Be your own glow. Be your own glow, whatever that is. You can just glow and say, I'm glowing because I had this candy bar. I'm glowing because, be your own glow. But glow, I'm loving, like I am glowing. Even my sister was like, you got your real Hawaiian glow? I said, no, I'm just glowing. Oh, that's what wait a minute. Before I go, Mag, listen to this. This was hot, I have to say. Good for him. The cute med student that was sitting next to me, he said when the lights went up, this is how he broke the ice. And I don't blame him. Because I would say this too. He said, you are glowing. Your complexion is beautiful. I saw you from the moment that you walked in. What is your skincare routine? Because your skin is glowing. I was like, I know that's right. That is great. And I told him this glow is water and happiness. The glow you're seeing, it's water and happiness. That's it. It's not about the skincare routine. That's a part of it. But it's water and happiness. It looks good on you. Try it. Try some water and happiness. I know he wasn't wrong. He sure wasn't. So, glow. Drink water and be happy. See how it looks on you, okay? And I'm gonna go cook for my parents because now I cook for them. Like throughout the day, I make little bites. I told my dad I'm making him a pina colada because I bought fresh coconut. I have to have my coconut. Since I don't have my coconut man here, I will just have my coconuts. And I got a fresh pineapple, not canned. My sister said, we have canned coconut. No, I don't do canned anything. Are you crazy? Maui pineapple? No. So I told my dad, I said, I'm gonna make a fresh pina colada for me without alcohol. But I bought the coconut and I bought the pineapple. And my dad said, put alcohol in mine. And I said, okay, Dad. I will put alcohol in your pina colada. My father has always loved his fine liqueurs. He taught me about wine and cognac, and cognac is just aged champagne and all of these things. So I will make him a fresh pina colada. I'm gonna make some Israeli couscous with vegetables, and we'll see what else we have. Oh, grill some vegetables. I have them marinating. So that's it. I will see you later. I'm so happy. Go glow. Goodbye.